Joel here, and today we're going to take a look at the Hyperkin Retron 77. What is the Retron 77? Well, it is a home console that plays Atari 2600 game cartridges. So you plug your game cartridge into there, your Atari 2600 cartridge into the console, and it outputs it to HDMI. So could be a really good option for a lot of people. People that want to play their Atari 2600 cartridges that still have them and want to output them to an HDMI signal and play them on their HDTV. So we'll take a look at the performance of it. We're going to unbox it first, then we'll show a little bit of gameplay footage as best we can, and then we'll kind of discuss the price and some of the positives and negatives, and yeah, try to help you make an informed decision on whether you should buy a Retron 77 or not. So let's open this thing up. Alright, so I grabbed my trusty Punisher blade and let's open this thing up. Now, I consider this a real unboxing because it is the first time I have opened this up. I don't open them up, take everything out, make sure it's all there, and then put it back in the box and, you know, do an unboxing after that. This is a true unboxing, so if any parts are broke or anything like that, well, we're going to find out. You know, I've always really liked the Retron's packaging, Hyperkin's packaging, I should say. They do a really good job. The package looks retro. It looks cool. You know, and they always got that little dog-eared corner on their box, which is kind of their trademark. You know, it's Hyperkin when you see that. And yeah, it's a nice box. It really is. On the back, yeah, some pretty much useless information, but it shows you that it is HDMI out. That's the whole reason for me getting it. So cut the little circular tape thing, the tab. And there we go. I was a little surprised because I'd seen some other videos and I thought it might be a little bigger than what it actually is. It's not. It's really small. It's a small footprint on your shelves, entertainment center, whatever. And then I was going to show you those 3 buttons in the back, but yeah, I did not do a good job on filming that. And we'll take a look at all those buttons at the end of this video, and I'll, you know, kind of go through them with you. This was a very pleasant surprise. I really like the controller that's included. Yeah, I liked it. It feels good in your hand. And honestly, if I had a choice between that and the original Atari controller, I'm picking the Hyperkin one. Just feels good, and it's really cool to have a new Atari 2600 controller. Yeah, you know, basic manual and stuff, and then you got all your hookups in here. But I've got other Hyperkin products and mini products that I have hooked up, mini consoles I should say, and they all use basically the same hookups. They do give you an HDMI cable. They give you the little micro USB charging cable, and it comes with the brick too. So if you need that little brick to plug in, it comes with it, and that's cool in my opinion. So I mean, you have every single thing you would need coming out of the box to fire it up and play it. And it was real quick for me because I just swapped it out with one of my other Retron consoles. So alright, so I box this up, and then we're gonna show you a little comparison on how big it is compared to a normal 2600. So there's a good look at it. It's a nice looking machine, and it has some heft to it. Now they do put a metal weight in there, I believe, to make it feel heavier, but it feels good. The build quality feels really good. And here's my Vader version of the 2600, and you can see how much smaller it is. Now, when you first boot up the Retron, if you don't have a game in there, the Retron 77 is going to go to this screen. And basically, there's 4 homebrews that are on your console that are built in that comes with it. The console has a memory card in the back to where you can actually add some games. I'm not interested in the homebrew games that were included with the machine. One of my all-time favorite Atari games is Space Invaders, and so that was the first one I wanted to try out. And as you can see, it plays great. The sound is amazing. It just plays really good. And it was really cool to grab that Space Invaders cartridge and plug it into this and just start playing it on my HDTV. I'm sure we all remember playing the Atari 2600 with the RF connection and the wavy lines and the noise. So this is pretty cool. It really is. And I like this much more than I like the flashbacks, the at-game flashbacks, but they're not bad. And I didn't test out their latest one, or when they started putting them out with HDMI out, I did not test them then, but or buy one. Mine's older than that. So they may have improved on some things, but it's just so cool to grab your Atari cartridges, your physical cartridges, and put them in. And I tried several different ones. Demon Attack, this played excellent. I have a bunch of iMagic games. Not a bunch, I have a few iMagic games. And they all played really well on here. And we go to Jungle Hunt. Jungle Hunt's a great game. And I know this isn't the ideal way of viewing gameplay footage, but I do not have a capture card yet. I'm going to get one at some point. I just want to make sure and get one that I'm going to be happy with at a good price. Cosmic Arc. You can see it plays perfect. Gotta beam up the little aliens and take them back to your ship within a certain amount of time. And then fight off the asteroids. Bermuda Triangle. I loved this game as a kid. I still do. I like it. It's got good sound. It's really cool. It's a good shooter. Gets pretty hectic. The one complaint I have is that you'll see this is on 16:9. So when you turn it on, you have to actually punch the button to put it at 4:3 ratio, and I don't like that. I wish the 4:3 was default, but it's not, unfortunately. And the one thing, I mean, this system, and even the old Atari, you always kind of wanted the console close to you while you were playing, because all your buttons and everything were on there. Your controller has one button. Alright, so we had a pretty good look at the Retron 77, and there's only a couple of issues that I have with the system, and I tried a whole stack of games. I obviously don't have every game, and I don't have even a huge Atari 2600 collection. I have some games, but it did not play these two. Pitfall 2, now I've heard this will play if you download the ROM and put it on the SD memory card, which is in back of the console right there. So if you download the ROM, it'll go on there. Now I've heard that there's a sound chip, or there's some type of chip on this game that makes it play music, and I think it's the soundtrack issue that won't let it play. But if it's downloaded onto your SD card as a ROM, and you could play it that way. And it does have, from what I've heard, has to be in bin format, not zip. I'm going to try this one. It doesn't look like this one's compatible, and this is Robot Tank. One of my favorite games as a kid was playing Robot Tank, so it does not play that. This is different than some of the Hyperkin consoles because it's an emulation box. When you put the game in, it rips it and it emulates it. So it's more software emulation than hardware emulation. So you know, that's different. And some people, that's probably not going to work for. It doesn't bother me. They play great, and especially Atari 2600 games. I mean, really, you know. So on the front of the console, you got your save and load state, so you can actually save state, load state. You got reset, you got mode, of course your power switch, and you got 1-player skill, 2-player skill. On the back, you got 3 little buttons here. One of those is the 4:3 to 16:9 ratio button. That's the middle one. This one's a fry button, and apparently I never did this, but with some of the old Atari 2600 games on the original hardware, you could turn it on, turn it off real quick, and sometimes it would glitch it out, and there would be things in the game that you would not see unless you actually did that. So that's kind of what that fry button is. It's kind of cool that they put that on there. HDMI, micro USB, and then here's your memory card back here. No audio video out. So I've got the Mega Retron and the Super Retron, the Super Nintendo Retron Hyperkin console, and the Sega Genesis Hyperkin console. And I love those consoles, actually, by the way, but they do come with the audio video out plus HDMI, so you can play them on HDTV or a CRT. In my opinion, you can get, you know, the original hardware if you're wanting to play it on a CRT for about the same price. So I'm happy with this. I like this, and what I'm going to do is, so it uses the Stella emulator. I'm going to update. You can update the firmware on this machine, but it's kind of a hack. So you would have to actually download the latest version of Stella, burn an image of it, and then put that on the card. And there's a way to do that and to bring it up to date. And that is supposed to bring up the compatibility with other games as well. So I will do that. Maybe I'll get that done at some point and do an update video. But for what it does, I'm really happy with it. I wish I could play Robot Tank. I love that game, man. It's a good Atari 2600 game. So, but I'm real happy that I can. Almost every Atari made game plays, from what I understand, and all mine did. And even some of the other off brands played very well. So I'm happy with it. I can recommend it. And I did get it for $69, and that was free shipping, so $69 total off of eBay. And that's about what they're running right now. And so that just, you know, you have to kind of balance those things out. If you have a lot of Atari 2600 cartridges, I don't see why it's not a great buy for you. In my opinion, it's worth it. But anyway, this video's went on way too long as it is, so I want to thank you guys for taking time out of your day to watch this video, and especially if you made it all the way to the end. Thank you very much, and I do hope you have a safe and a great rest of your weekend.